The minute you turn back to that shame, that guilt, that person that you hide from not just the world, but yourself, will be the minute you set Willie free. And for you guys that, or the youth that don't know about the movie Free Willy, it was about a young guy that came across this well that was trapped. And this is symbolic to when we come across or we find the subconscious mind. We find that giant within ourselves that wishes you set it free. And that giant that I speak of is the I am essence, the I am presence, that will then allow you to create the divine flow, right? Where the mind and the heart are no longer separated, but they come back in alignment together as one force, right? And it be the light for not everybody. Because your cup of tea may not be the cup of tea that this individual may like. But see, your fingerprint will awaken and call forth others that hear the sound of your voice. It's like when the universe said, my sheep know my voice. In other words, it's saying your vibe attracts your tribe, as well as your tribe attracts your vibe. So that's why we have to know that the way we operate inside will dictate who we are around outside. So the work starts at home. And you have to first go down in order to be able to respect and be able to perceive what's up, right? Because if not, if you never went down and experienced hell or the bottom of the sea, you will piss on or degrade, trample on, mistreat, devour heaven, harmony, a person that comes in your life with balance, peace, awareness, boundaries, right? See, going down the hill birthed not just boundaries, but it showed you what not to tolerate, what you are not at heart, who you are not, and all of this darkness that you had to face in order to elevate spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, allows you to step into a whole new vessel, whole new perspective, whole new life. It allows you to be reborn again. But you can't carry the parts of the old in with the new. The only thing you should be bringing in to the new is that message to give another that you may be able to perceive now that you are above. You can see that they may need that rope, that helping hand, that message to help them climb out as well. Because on that path of elevation, we all go through that season of separation where we have to get with ourselves to know ourselves and be able to differentiate, meaning separate who we are from who we were not, right? To be able to take that costume off and be able to walk raw and uncut, right? And when we're in that stage or in that void, in that sacred place, in the middle of the hallway between two classrooms, we then can see, or we then need to be that one that when we see somebody else in that middle, meaning that crossroad, where they can be pulled back or they can jump off the deep end, we gotta be willing to say, hey, you got this. hey, this message I give you is going to be a parachute for you. Right? You may feel that adrenaline. You may feel that sense of, like, let's go. That's what I call that energy. Let's go. You may feel that, but it's all for your good. And don't just do it in fear. Because sometimes we just feel that. We feel that fear. But sometimes that fear is just a new energy entering that we're not aware of because we're scared of what we don't know. And when the Holy Spirit, Christ, universe starts to enter into your heart, it's a feeling of adrenaline, unrecognizable, right? But when we embrace it wholeheartedly and say, okay, I give this to you as you give this to me, right? But then you can't just hold all the energy in because currency don't work that way. Energy don't work in a way where it just runs in one thing and stays. As you get it, you give it. Or give it, right? As you get it, you give it. And what you're giving is, most of the time, not tangible. It's verbal. And it's not coming from here. It's coming from here. And then people can relate. Because when you're speaking the truth, it may offend some people that are not ready to stand in their truth. But for the ones that have walked away, left the world behind, it will be a guiding light for them. So I don't care if you was a woman on the streets doing certain things to survive. If you were a man in the streets doing certain things to provide. I don't care about none of that. I am not judgmental at all. I'm just here to tell you about somebody that can save everybody. And it exists in you. I'm here to tell you those dark times, as you speak about it, as you get in the state of the artist Eminem when he was in the movie 8 Mile, when you get in that state of truth and love and you embrace that darkness because you start to realize with real eyes what it has shaped you into, right? You tell your story before anybody else even tell it. It's like, okay, go ahead. I have no worries. Because my story, me not being ashamed of that part of me embracing that part of me back and saying, come on, I'm not leaving you behind. Come on, I got you. The same way you had me. Through those dark times, you had me. You didn't push me to the side and say, oh, you made a mistake, so you go over there, I don't want you no more. You stuck with me. When I look myself in the mirror at night, I tell myself, thank you. I recognize I am. I see you. You were there the whole time. Through the rain, through the pain, through the crying, through not feeling worthy, through feeling like giving up sometimes. You stuck by my side. And I love you for that. And a lot of times it's the feminine energy that's stuck by your side. How many men can really relate and look out into the world, out these windows, and know and see that good woman that was by their side through thick or thin, didn't turn their back and went and did things when you were drunk in the mental plane, when you were lost, you were in ignorance. They didn't scoop down and say, well, I'm gonna go do some drunk and ignorant stuff because you did it. A lot of us don't have that, never had that. Right? But we can't blame them because we turned around and we did, as men, we did something because the woman did it. They were drunk and in ignorance, so we chose to get drunk and play in ignorance. So we can't blame nobody. We can only thank each other for doing their part or doing our part to help us build self-value, self-care, self-love. Help us turn back to thyself. And you know what happens at the end of that? You love that person wholeheartedly and genuinely because they only could have done, you all only could have done, I only could have done as much as I knew. That's why knowledge is power, family. When I started learning, reading certain books, doing the inner work, I started to realize who the real enemy was. And it was the inner me. Me turning my back on myself. So then everything outside of me started to turn it back on me as well. But I'm here to tell you, the tides are changing. The poles are shifting. There's a shift in the atmosphere, family. And you would have never known love until you loved yourself. You would have never known peace until you went through pain. You would have never known disrespect if you didn't get disrespected. See, everything is a flip-flop. You would have never known light if you didn't go through dark. You would have never known feminine if you wasn't all the way locked into your masculine. She's calling you back home now, and that goes for male and female. And when I say feminine, I'm talking about your heart. The mind has done all it can. Give it a break. Allow the mind to resonate and get back with its mate, meaning the heart. Don't stand in the way, family. Just let it be. Stand in truth, even if that means standing alone for a season. You got this. Free Willy. Right? But y'all know me. I never go with the flow. I'm here to create the flow and help others do the same. And if you would like my help, go to www.createtheflownp, meaning nonprofit.com. The information is there to get in contact with me on any level. I'm here to be a guide and light, family. The awakening is amongst us. Until the next message. One love.